Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Rise and Receive. This is your 10-minute morning send off designed to support you in receiving what you most want by unlearning struggle. Today, we are going to talk about fear. And the focus for today is going to be about how to soothe your fear. So, I happen to know that this is a pretty universal topic, as I'm sure you know as well. I suppose there might be a few people out there who never experience fear and are fearless, but they are rare. They are rare. And so today we're going to talk about fear. And with everything that's happening in the world today, it's heightened. It's heightened. So, personally, I'd like to extend a thank you to those of you who sent well wishes my way and expressions of concern. Yesterday, I mentioned that 5 minutes before I hopped on Facebook Live to do the Rise and Receive, I'd gotten a text from my son. And for those of you who don't know, I'm out here in the Pacific Northwest, and there's a lot of fires out here, a lot of smoke. The last few days, we've had 50-mile-an-hour winds, and so it's pretty intense. So thank you for those of you who expressed your concerns, and we are safe. There are many people who are evacuating and moving around and afraid. So I think this card will be really useful, whether that includes you or whether you know people. I invite you to take in what this message is about today and let it wash over you and pass it on to anybody that you think could benefit. Okay. So if you don't know me, my name is Sonia Miller. I'm a speaker, coach, and best-selling author, and I am very passionate about teaching people how to receive their fulfillment by unlearning struggle. And so one of the things that we highlight here and in everything that I teach about receiving is that while some struggle is a natural part of life, much struggle is learned, and it's learned in the way that we relate to life. It's learned in the way that we relate to the things that arise. So this is going to be a perfect example to do a deeper dive into looking at where your power lies in relationship to fear, because fear is a part of life, and yet how we relate to it makes a huge difference, not only in our own well-being, but in our capacity to receive. Okay. One of the key ideas that we get to explore with receiving is that when you unlearn being selective about what you receive, in other words, I'll receive this, thank you very much, I like it. I won't receive that, no thank you, I don't like it, like with fear. Then what happens is we actually block the flow of life, and the space which is needed to receive gets filled up by the things that we're resisting. So nothing new can come in. But when we receive everything, when we learn how to receive everything, that includes the things that we don't want, and we learn how to feel and be empowered in our relationship to our don't wants, which is the only reason we resist things anyway, is that we don't know what to do with the things we don't like. But when we know what to do with the things we don't like in a powerful way, and we let it move on through, then we are this open, receptive flow of the kindness of life. So that's what we're going to go deeper into today with today's card. And that's what I do here at Rise and Receive. Each morning I pull one card from my brand new Receive card deck. I read you the principle, the receiving principle that is highlighted on it, and then I'll unpack it a bit and send you off on your day, on your way, with a willingness mantra, which activates the power of invitation. And invitation is the heart and soul of what receiving is about. Intention is the more masculine model of power. Receiving is the feminine model of power. And both are, essential because it's part of the whole, yet most of us over-rely on the masculine. So this is about inviting the well-being that is here beyond anything you could imagine, beyond the things that are beyond your control, like the fires here out in the Pacific Northwest and California. Okay, so with that as introduction, I invite you to sit back. Let these words wash over you. You can always come back and re-listen here or on YouTube, and just let it do what it came here to do, what this reading's about for you. Here we go. Soothe your fear. Soothe your fear. Fear is a part of life. It comes to visit when it wants to. It has a life and will of its own. Think of fear as a relative that you don't particularly like, but because you share family ties and a history, you have to deal with them. They have a habit of dropping by unannounced. You never like it when they do, yet there's not a single thing you can do about it. You know they could drop by your house anytime without notice for the rest of your life. It's just the way it is. As with this relative, if you try to control fear's behavior, you will struggle. In other words, if you try to anticipate when fear might stop by, always bracing yourself for the possibility, you will not only live in a constant state of discomfort, but this distress will take up residence in your being, severely limiting your capacity to receive the well-being that you'd rather experience. If, when fear comes by, you become consumed with finding a way to get rid of it as fast as possible, you will be tense every moment it is here as you resist its mere presence. At best, you'll find fleeting relief when fear is finally gone, only to return quickly to your pre-visit state of high alert anticipation. You can, however, experience much more peace when you truly, once and for all, accept that fear indeed is a part of life. Like your pain in the neck relative, fear itself is actually harmless. Not fun, yes. Not convenient, yes. But when you become willing to regard these visits with great respect, you will begin to receive the gifts this visitor always has to offer. A new insight, a perspective, or a deeper understanding about yourself. You see, this relative, your fear, knows a lot about you. It knows the stories of your childhood, the beliefs you adopted and where they came from. And when you really listen, you gain a new opportunity to revisit who you thought you were and explore who you'd like to become. When you receive your fear with respect instead of resistance, you expand in your capacity to receive. Begin by noticing when fear comes. It brings its essence, which are the feelings in your body, and its stories, which are the images and thoughts in your mind. Become willing to sit with your fear. Breathe deeply to open a space for it. Experience it fully and let it do what it came here to do. Let it be as it is. Sooner or later, there will be movement, release, and relief. And with this will come a new receptivity to the next thing life is offering. As you practice this, at very least, you will be soothed as you see more and more that this too shall pass. And at very most, your trust in the kindness of life will expand and expand. So that's the Soothe Your Fear card. I hope it's giving you at least one nugget that can help you as you relate to fear within yourself, in relationship to life, as you witness it in others, a way to relate to them with great respect and their fear with great respect. So with this, here is your willingness mantra for the day. Take it on. You cannot say this enough, especially when you become aware that you're feeling fear. This is a great way to soothe the fear rather than to fuel it by resisting it. I am willing to soothe my heart by regarding my fear with great respect. I am willing to soothe my heart by regarding my fear with great respect. So that's the Soothe Your Fear card. And I think for today, what I'd really like to highlight as I unpack this, unpack this card a little bit, is this idea of what you resist persists, what you receive can transform. When we don't have a wisdom to draw upon when we relate to fear, we will rely on instinct, which is our nervous system and our survival mechanisms that are built in, which is fight, flight, freeze, fawn. In other words, when animal instinct kicks in around fear, it is so automatic to basically react to it or respond to it in a way that's all about getting rid of it. Getting rid of it. But what happens is when we try to get rid of the fear, we automatically engage resistance. And resistance of the fear itself makes it worse. It actually fuels it. Because what happens is the mind will keep thinking about the thoughts it keeps thinking that creates fear. And we will do all kinds of things to try to make the sensations in our body go away. It actually just, at very least, keeps it here, and at worst makes it worse. And so when we are aware, when we can notice, I actually have a choice in how I respond to fear, then the wisdom is actually to do the opposite, which is really weird and does take some practice, but I promise you, the more you practice it, it works. And so what we do is we actually say yes to the fear. We welcome the fear as sacred. We don't have to like it, and we generally don't. But if we say, okay, I'm willing to allow you safe passage, and we breathe, and I invite you to close your eyes, and fear can be like a wave that moves through you. There are sensations you experience in your body. You can actually separate the sensations from the thoughts and look at the thoughts like images on a movie screen and let the fear be here. Breathe into it. Breathe into the space where all of this exists in your awareness. If you have time, if you can, give it space, give it time, okay? It will start to move and shift, okay? Many times we can need help with this. One of the ways that we give it space and a way to land is to talk about it, to vent about it with somebody safe, okay? Whatever it takes for you to allow it to be here, move in that direction, because then it will pass. And as the fear and the thoughts have a place to land, even just to say your fears out loud, then the space in which the fear was that was occupying it, it actually rests to open up space for something new. And insights come, and awarenesses come, and a willingness perhaps to do something that you were afraid to do before comes, or just your next step, okay? So that is my invitation. That's my encouragement to you as you explore ways to feel more powerful in relationship to fear. Fear is a part of life. It comes, it goes. And the more you become willing to say, you know what, fear may come again for the rest of my life, like that visitor that I didn't want, okay? And when it does, you say, okay, all right, fear, here you are again. Come in. You're here for a reason. Come in, sit down. I'm just going to let you tell your stories. I'm going to let you take up some airspace, be here. Fear will get it will get itself out of its system. And then you can let it on through, and then there'll be more space for the next thing. So I hope this is helpful. Once again, here's your mantra for the day. I am willing to soothe my heart by regarding my fear with great respect. By the way, as I was thinking about how I could offer some extra support to those of you who might be struggling with fear, I remembered that I have a guided meditation that is free and ready to go and available to you. So if you'd like some help with this, and this meditation can really help you do just what we talked about today, which is open up a space, let it all be here so it can move on through, go to unlearnstruggle.com. All one word, unlearnstruggle.com. There are guided meditations. There's 2 of them. The first one is about unlearning struggle. Use that if fear is here or any kind of struggle. The guided meditations really, really help, okay? Because it is my voice and my energy holding space for you, all right? And as always, if you like this, if you found it useful, please like, please share, please subscribe. If you're on YouTube, check the free resources that are in the links above and below. And if you would like to get a copy of the Receive card deck, or deck, I should say, for yourself, as soon as it's available, go to receivecarddeck.com, put in your name and email, and I'll keep you posted as soon as it's available. I'll make sure you know. Have a great rest of your day. Be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow at the next Rise and Receive. Bye, everybody.